Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 10 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Beaufort County where Republican Stacey Davis of the school board is refusing to resign. The Beaufort County GOP and Republican State Representative Keith Kidwell called for her resignation after videos showed her stopping a school bus with kids aboard and then getting on the bus to retrieve an item from a student that she believed had been stolen. State statute does not permit people to board school buses. Davis said she had no idea she was not allowed to enter the bus. Davis posted a statement Thursday night saying in part, quote, "In recent days, a narrative has emerged that misrepresents my character, my intent, and my service to Beaufort County. The district attorney reviewed the matter and declined to pursue action. I cooperated fully with all inquiries and remain in full compliance with North Carolina law. As an elected official, I am protected under the doctrine of legislative immunity. Calls for resignation based on optics rather than evidence undermine the very transparency and accountability our community deserves. I will not resign," end quote. Now, Beaufort County Superintendent Matthew Cheeseman told WITN Thursday that they are working on bus driver training to make sure bus drivers know not to open the door. Also want to highlight a conviction that happened in Carteret County in the Beaufort area of Jason McCarville. The Carteret County District's Attorney's Office says that Jason McCarville was convicted of second-degree kidnapping, habitual misdemeanor assault, and assault with a deadly weapon. The 39-year-old Newport man was sentenced to serve between 3 years and 7 months and 5 years and 3 months in state prison. Prosecutors say McCarville was dating his victim back in January. They say while in his vehicle in Newport, the man repeatedly hit the victim in the face, then used a pocket knife with a razor blade to keep her in the car so he could terrorize her. McCarville was released on bond some 4 months after his arrest, and that's when authorities say he cut off his ankle monitor and tossed it in the ocean. The man was caught in Georgia and brought back to Carteret County to face a new trial, according to a news release. And finally, want to catch you up on one other story, this one out of Asheboro, where the body of a missing boy was found. Now, Liam Alexander King was reported missing on September 7th in the area of Forest Hills Drive. According to Randolph County deputies, his body was found the morning of September 9th in a pond near his last known location. Now, the sheriff's office wrote on a social media post, quote, "This loss is truly heartbreaking. We ask everyone to please continue to keep Liam's family in your thoughts and prayers," end quote. Now, deputies also said that an investigation into his death was active. And now we want to turn to your weather forecast today. It started out fairly foggy out there, but we've really seen a lot of that fog dissipate over the past hour, and that is encouraging. Dropping the first alert weather day designation always feels pretty good. There you can still see some of the leftover fog just kind of sitting on the other side of the river there in Beaufort County. Overall, though, again, looking at sunnier conditions as we head through the rest of the day. Right now, Greenville coming in 70 degrees, comes also with a 70-degree dew point. Of course, the higher dew points and the lowering air temperatures is what caused the fog earlier this morning, and that plus, of course, the calm winds. But right now, again, visibility only low for areas around Martin County and then southern Duplin and northern Pender County. That's where, again, we've got still some lingering fog. So if you're doing any driving in those areas, do understand, again, that there is some visibility concerns in those regions. The rest of eastern North Carolina going to continue to enjoy sunny weather. Now, those areas, again, Martin County, and those of you in southern Duplin and northern Pender County, not to worry. You guys are going to be breaking out of that fog here momentarily. By the time we get to about 10:30, 10:45, those spots again are going to be all clear. Big reason why we've got more heat on the way, and the more separation there is between your dew point and your air temperature, the less likely fog becomes. Once you get about a 5-degree separation there, fog just really isn't going to form. So the hotter we get, the faster we get hot, the faster we get that fog out of the east. And right now, most areas are heating up fairly nicely. A little bit warmer, actually, than where we were yesterday across the Crystal Coast. Winds out of the north to northwest right now, very light. You may actually have variable winds where you're watching from, but currently most areas are reporting that north to northwesterly wind direction at speeds of around 3 to 6 miles an hour. And those speeds again will stay light through the rest of this afternoon. Highs getting into the mid, possibly upper 80s, 86, 87, maybe 88 degrees will be possible today. I think most of us 86 to 87. But then as we head into the evening hours, we will see those temperatures fall fairly quickly. 84 degrees by the time we reach 6 p.m., 75 by 8, into the upper 60s by the time we reach, I would say, around 10:30, 10:45. By 11, we're looking around 69 degrees. Coming up for tomorrow morning, back into the low 60s we go. This is encouraging for those of you who want to keep that cool fall feel and that crisp air present. The cooler your overnight lows are, the more comfortable the air will feel that very day. So 62-degree start temperature, looking pretty good for tomorrow. Now air temperatures will be rising back into the mid 80s coming up for tomorrow afternoon. Mostly sunny skies will make sure that's a certainty throughout the region. Northeasterly winds will also come in at about 5 to 10 miles an hour, so a little bit more of a breeze for tomorrow than what we're going to feel today. But even then, it's not going to be oppressive winds. It just may blow your hair around a little bit on occasion in the afternoons. Now here's kind of a look at what we've got going on. That area of low pressure thankfully is now going to stay just far away enough that we probably are going to be looking at minimal rain chances over the weekend. That's both Saturday and Sunday. If we see any rain showers, will likely be near the coast, just kind of some showers getting flung off of that low pressure circulation you're seeing further off to the east. Now that one off to the west, that will eventually approach eastern North Carolina, but I don't think it's really going to amount to much, as the mountains are going to do a great job of taking care of a lot of that moisture associated with that low pressure system. Now another low pressure system, this one designated as a tropical storm, still churning in the central Atlantic. A lot more moisture content available and associated with that circulation today than what we saw yesterday afternoon. Gabrielle is moving northwest at 12 miles an hour, wind sustained at 50 miles an hour, and gusts up to 65. Now again, this system will be staying off to the east of Bermuda. Great news for us. While it is expected to become a hurricane, potentially by the time we reach the start of next week, we are not going to have to deal with any sort of direct impacts out of that system. Could our wave heights increase a little bit Monday, Tuesday, and maybe Wednesday? Most likely just Monday and Tuesday? Yes. But we're only looking at a slight rise, maybe an increased chance of rip currents, but overall nothing that is really going to rock the boat here in eastern North Carolina. Now, 87 degrees on Tuesday, followed up by 88 degrees on Wednesday, will eventually cool down as a cold front is expected to roll in by the time we reach Thursday. That'll take air temps from the upper 80s, dropping back down to the low 80s, but more importantly, give us a chance of some showers and some thunderstorms, a little bit of a better opportunity there as we head towards next Thursday. So that's something we're going to continue to watch in the Weather Center, but for right now, the weekend looking fairly straightforward, and nothing really shows any sign of trouble from a forecast perspective, as skies are going to stay mostly sunny and air temperatures will likely hold around the mid 80s. Well, that's all we have time for today's 10 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful Friday.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by ENC Pirate Realty.